All right, today we're diving deep into the rich, almost poetic world of a text called The Tongue Before the Mouth. This is really a philosophical journey into language, into power, and into the huge difference between being seen and, well, being unseen. This is one of those works that's going to make you rethink the words you use every day. So let's get right into it.
So the text doesn't really start at the beginning. Instead, it just throws us right into the middle of everything with this incredible, mind-bending line. Think about that for a second. It's telling us that we're not just reading a story that's already over, we're inside a living, breathing process, a language that is still happening, still becoming, and that one idea really sets the stage for everything else.
So yeah, this is where we start with the big question that pretty much haunts this entire piece. What is the relationship between what we can see and what stays hidden? The text suggests that the most important truths are often the ones that we miss, the ones that escape our notice. But, how do you even start talking about something you can't see?
Now here's a wild idea for you. What if language isn't just for describing what's here right now, but it's also about making a promise for what could be? The source imagines a sound, a single phoneme spoken into the world centuries before the grammar to even understand it existed. It's a promissory phoneme, a promise of meaning that future generations have to invent a language to pay back. That's a powerful thought, right? Language isn't just what we have, it's what we owe the future.
Okay, and that leads us to this truly radical idea, the freedom of opacity. In a world that is constantly demanding clarity, demanding transparency, what if the most powerful thing you can do is to simply choose not to be understood? We get to explore this through this amazing character, Marie-Salomé.
So we meet Marie-Salomé. She's a cartographer, a map maker. But her maps don't show you any roads or borders. No, she maps the unmappable stuff, the feelings, the silences, all the hidden landscapes inside our lives. Her work basically challenges our whole idea of what a map is for. Is it just a tool to get from A to B, or can it be a form of poetry?
So what do we actually mean by opacity here? Well, it's not about hiding or being invisible. It's an active, powerful refusal to be neatly labeled and understood by systems of power. You know how we're always being asked to define ourselves online, to check a box? Opacity is the act of saying, nope, I am more than your labels. It's like a dense seed of pure, untamed potential.
And this slide gives you just a little glimpse into her incredible maps. She charts the weight of a silence, the color of an angry word. These are the geographies of our inner lives, right? The secret worlds we all live in. It kind of makes you wonder, what would your own unreal map even look like?
In this powerful, unsent letter, Marie-Salomé just fully embraces being called illegible. She knows that a world obsessed with data and control will look at her work and call it useless. But right there, in that illegibility, that's where she finds her freedom. It's such a profound idea. Maybe true freedom lies in refusing to be understood on anyone's terms but your own.
But just as we're getting all cozy with this romantic idea of opacity, the text hits us with a curveball. A new voice shows up, Clera Transparent, and she has a really sharp critique. She asks this absolutely crucial question. What if being opaque isn't a choice? What if it's a weapon that's used against you? And here you can see the central conflict, laid out side by side. For the main narrator, Succissant, opacity is this beautiful act of defiance. But for Clera Transparent, it can be a brutal kind of violence. For so many people, being opaque isn't a choice they make. It's a sentence. It's being erased, being made invisible against your will.
This is Clara's vital question. What about the stories that are deliberately erased from history? The names that are blacked out of documents? For people who've been silenced, being opaque isn't freedom. It's a prison. They aren't fighting to be hidden. They're fighting tooth and nail just to be seen, to be heard, to be counted.
And to really hammer this point home, Clera gives us this chilling allegory, the Republic of Glass. Just imagine a world where every wall is transparent, every single thought is monitored, and privacy is literally a crime. It's this terrifying vision where the very thing we think we want, transparency, becomes the ultimate tool of oppression.
In this dystopian world, citizens have to fill out this thing called Form 77B. And look at these questions. They're designed to completely dissect and dismantle your soul. State all your names. Quantify your interior weather. Do not use metaphor. Can you imagine? It's the weaponization of clarity, designed to erase everything that makes us messy, complicated, and, human. And yet, in the face of this soul-crushing bureaucracy, we find this perfect, tiny act of resistance. A citizen just writes, "My name is," and then stops. That dash. Man, the dash is everything. It's not an empty space. It is the visible scar of an invisible refusal. Just a beautiful, quiet act of defiance.
So now we're stuck with this huge paradox, right? Opacity is freedom, but transparency can be tyranny. It feels like a dead end, but the text doesn't just leave us there. It guides us into this third space, a language of relation, a place where new meanings are born in these messy, creative Creole zones that exist between the two extremes.
Yeah, when this text uses the word Creole, it doesn't mean a simple 50-50 mix of two things. No, it's talking about the explosive creation of something totally new that happens when different worlds collide. It's the language, the culture, the person that just shatters all our neat little categories and can't be classified.
Théo, another fascinating character, totally lives this idea. He writes this single, breathless sentence that goes on for pages, and this quote is right at the heart of it. He's arguing that life isn't about the solid ground under our feet, it's about the space between the steps. It's a beautiful idea. What if the most real parts of our lives are those moments in between? Then this massive storm hits the city. The text calls it a force of disord, which is like a creative disorder, a creative chaos. It just shatters the old way of things, rips words off of walls, and scatters them everywhere like seeds. And from all that wreckage, the people have to build a new language, a new map, a new way of being.
Marie-Salomé is wandering through this storm-ravaged city, and she's just gathering these broken bits of language from the water. Never forget that. The body remembers. The power here isn't in what's actually said, but in the ache of what's missing. These broken pieces somehow create a new, maybe more honest kind of poetry.
And so we arrive at the beautiful, profound heart of this whole thing. All these different threads we've been following, language, resistance, connection, they all get woven together around this powerful idea of the wound and the incredible creativity that can blossom from our deepest damage. The text leaves us with this absolutely stunning image, a flamboyant tree, its branches shattered by the storm. But here's the thing, it doesn't just heal. It explodes with these vibrant red flowers, sprouting right from the raw, broken wood. The damage itself becomes the source of its most breathtaking beauty. And that brings us to what might be the most powerful line in the entire text, a line that just weaves everything together. The wound you made is a mouth, and the mouth is singing, and the song is red. What an incredible image. The wound isn't a source of pain, but a source of creation, as vibrant and alive as those flowers on the tree.
And so, we're left with this question that just echoes long after you finish reading. If damage reveals things that were hidden, then what grows from our own broken places? What songs are just waiting to come out from the parts of ourselves we only discover when we're shattered? That is a question worth pondering.